You get told no a lot, and you get told you can't do that a lot. If we all quit after someone told us we couldn't do something, nothing would be rewarding.
Lohrei drawing 𝗬𝗰𝗲.
That's what's driven Mason to be as good as he is today.
Kick back to Lohrei, the point, he scores!
He's elite. When he steps on the ice, you know that something magic could happen.
Growing up, my dad was a hockey coach in the East Coast League. The second I could walk, maybe before, he had skates on me. Throughout my entire life, I've always had the dream of playing in the NHL, and that's always been the main goal. In my youth, I played forward. Growing up in Madison, Wisconsin, I was cut by my AAA team and my high school team in the same season, so I ended up playing on the JV team. The JV team would practice at 6 a.m. And I remember one morning, he pulled up to the front of the rink, and I wasn't looking forward to practice at all, just bummed out, and we just sat there for probably 10 minutes before I went into the rink, and that was probably the first time I remember him telling me to stay the course. I then moved to Indiana, decided to attend school at 𝗬𝗵𝗲 Military Academy for a fresh start. But I would get scratched pretty much every other game, be up in the stands working the camera.
A lot of kids would go through that scenario, don't make my high school team. He goes to Culver, doesn't make the varsity. It's kind of like, all right, am I doing the right thing here?
We actually had two of our defensemen both break their collarbones within 2 weeks of each other. Our assistant coach came up to me and said, "You want to play defense?"
I was at 𝗬𝗲 Military Academy when Mason had come in. Every obstacle that has gotten in his way, he's learned from it, he's adapted, and he's grown because of it.
When I first got moved back to defense, I was super offensive, like just a wild card back there, flying around, trying to toe drag everybody.
There were times at 𝗬𝗲 where he would try to pull some moves and maybe do a little too much in the D zone. And like our coach would just be going crazy. He'd be losing his mind.
We got this rock, and the boys were like, "What? Like, what is that?" He was like, "Oh, it's my calming rock." And someone asked him, like, "Oh, what's its name?" And he goes, "Oh, I named it Mason."
I think a lot of people, even through his junior hockey, didn't even call him a forward or D, they just called him a rover.
In the fall of 2020, I was drafted by the Boston Bruins in the NHL draft. Central scouting lists and stuff like that, I wasn't ever ranked very high. My Twitter mentions were crazy. Like all the just bad things people were saying, how I was already a bust. Ohio State was the first big one to come in and ask me to come on a visit. And it was just a dream come true for me.
Because he went through a lot of people telling him, "You're not good enough for our team, you're not good enough for this position," we were one of the first schools that says, "You are good enough, we do want you." He sees the game through an offensive player's mind, but he's playing defense.
He believes in his ability almost too much at times, but that's what makes him elite. And sometimes you got to hold him back, but he has the ability to hit the home run. That's the difference.
He does have the option to go on and sign the contract, make money, and go play pro hockey, but everyone knows that Mason is a massive part of our team. He understands that where he's at right now is his priority.
I still felt that there was work to be done here. I think a lot of it's self-applied pressure. I mean, I know what our team's capable of, and I know what I'm capable of, and going out there and doing that every night, trying to accomplish something that no team here ever has, and that's win a national championship.